The red warning light flashed on the bridge of the merchant ship Crimson Tide. Captain Taemin looked up from his datapad and frowned. His ship was 3 days out from Nexus Station, carrying a cargo of rare metals and spices. The last thing he needed was trouble. "What is it, Boram?" he asked his navigator. The young Vorthak female checked her screens again. Her blue skin turned slightly purple with worry. "Captain, we have picked up a distress signal. Very weak. It looks like an escape pod." Taemin walked over to look at her display. The Vorthak were a peaceful trading race. They had long, thin bodies and large eyes that helped them see in the dark spaces between stars. Their skin changed color based on their emotions, which made lying very hard for them. "Where is it?" Taemin asked. "About 2 hours away if we change." "Course," Boram replied. "The signal is getting weaker. Whatever is in that pod does not have long." Taemin thought for a moment. Helping strangers in space was dangerous. You never knew what you might find. Pirates sometimes used fake distress calls to trick merchant ships, but leaving someone to die in the cold of space was against everything the Vorthak believed. "Change course," he ordered. "Send word to Dr. Hyejin. Tell her to get the medical bay ready." Boram's skin turned a happy green color. "Yes, Captain." 2 hours later, they found the escape pod. It was badly damaged. Parts of its hull were burned black and it spun slowly as it drifted through space. Taemin could see where laser weapons had hit it. "Bring it into the cargo bay," he told his crew. "But be careful. We do not know what is inside." The crew used the ship's grabbing arms to pull the pod into their cargo hold. Taemin put on his spacesuit and went down to look at it. The pod was small, built for only one person. Strange writing covered its sides in a language he had never seen before. His chief engineer, Dong-Su, came up beside him. The older Vorthak's skin was yellow with curiosity. "Captain, this is not like any escape pod I have seen. The design is very different from Council ships." Taemin nodded. The Galactic Council included most of the known intelligent races in the galaxy. Their ships all looked similar because they shared technology. This pod looked like someone had built it without any council help. "Can you open it?" Taemin asked. Dong-Su studied the pod's door. "I think so. The locking system is simple but strong. Give me a few minutes." While Dong-Su worked, Dr. Hyejin arrived with her medical equipment. She was the ship's doctor and Taemin's younger sister. Her skin was pale blue with worry. "What are we dealing with?" she asked. "We do not know yet," Taemin replied. "Something that flies ships we have never seen before." Dong-Su made a happy sound. The pod's door hissed open. Stale air flowed out, and Taemin could smell burned metal and something else he could not identify. Inside, the pod lay a creature unlike anything Taemin had ever seen. It had pale pink skin and strange, flat features. Hair grew from the top of its head in a dark brown color. It wore a blue uniform that was torn and stained with a red liquid that had to be blood. "By the void," Hyejin whispered. "What is it?" The creature was about the same size as a Vorthak, but built much thicker. Its arms and legs looked strong, and its hands had only 5 fingers instead of the 6 that most council races had. But what shocked Taemin most was how badly hurt it was and how it was still alive. Deep cuts covered the creature's arms and face. Its right leg was bent at a wrong angle. Dark bruises spread across its chest. Any Vorthak with these injuries would have died hours ago. "It is still breathing," Hyejin said in amazement. "How is that possible?" She quickly scanned the creature with her medical equipment. Her skin turned bright orange with shock. "Captain, this thing is incredibly tough. Its bones are much stronger than ours. Its organs are protected by thick muscle and fat. And its blood carries oxygen much better than Vorthak blood." "Can you help it?" Taemin asked. Hyejin was already moving. "Help me get it to the medical bay. We need to work fast." They carefully moved the unconscious creature to the ship's medical room. Hyejin worked for hours using everything she knew to keep it alive. She had to guess at many things because she had never treated this kind of being before. The creature's body fought to heal itself in ways that amazed her. Its blood clotted faster than any species she knew. Its cells seemed to repair damage at an incredible speed. but the injuries were so severe that even this amazing healing might not be enough. "What do you think it is?" Taimin asked as he watched his sister work. "I have no idea," she replied, carefully cleaning a wound. "But it is definitely not from any world the Council knows about. This physiology is completely new. For 3 days, Hyojin barely left the medical bay. She gave the creature nutrients through tubes and used machines to help it breathe. Slowly, very slowly, it began to get better. On the 4th day, the creature opened its eyes. Taemin was sitting beside the medical bed when it happened. The creature's eyes were a strange blue-green color, unlike anything he had seen. They looked around the room with intelligence and confusion. The creature tried to sit up but was too weak. It looked at Taemin and spoke in a voice that was surprisingly deep. Where am I?" it asked in very broken galactic standard. Taemin leaned forward. "You are safe. We found your escape pod and brought you to our ship. I am Captain Taemin." The creature's eyes widened. You saved me?" It struggled with the words. "The pirates, did they hurt you? Are your people safe?" Taemin was shocked. This being had nearly died, and its first worry was for the safety of strangers who had helped it. In his experience, most species would ask about themselves first. "Are all safe," Taemin assured it. "What is your name? What species are you?" The creature relaxed slightly. "My name is Junho. I am human, from a world called Earth." Taemin had never heard of humans or Earth. According to Council records, they had contacted every intelligent species in the galaxy. But here was proof that they had missed at least one. "What happened to you?" Taemin asked. Junho's face became sad. "I was on a research mission, studying a dead star system. Pirates attacked my ship. They wanted our equipment, my crew. They told me to take the escape pod while they fought." The human's voice broke slightly. "I do not know if they made it out." Over the next few days, as Junho got stronger, Taemin learned more about humans. They came from a world far from Council space. They had recently learned how to travel between stars. Junho's research ship was one of their first long-distance missions. What impressed Taemin most was how grateful Junho was. The human insisted on helping with small tasks around the ship as soon as he could walk. He shared his food with the crew and told them stories about his home world. "On Earth," Junho said one evening as they ate together, "we have a saying. A stranger is just a friend you have not met yet. You could have left me to die, but you risked your own safety to save me. My people will never forget this kindness." Taemin felt warm at these words. He had done what felt right, but he had not expected such deep gratitude. What none of them knew was that the ship's automatic systems had recorded everything. When they had found the escape pod, the ship had sent a standard report to nearby Council monitoring stations. The report included scans of the unknown vessel and its lone occupant. Somewhere in Council space, computers were analyzing this data. Soon, very soon, other people would know about the humans and about Captain Taemin's act of kindness. But for now, Taemin was simply happy to have saved a life. He had no idea that his simple act of mercy was about to change the entire galaxy. 2 weeks had passed since they rescued Junho. The Crimson Tide was now docked at Nexus Station, a huge trading post that floated in space between 3 star systems. Captain Taemin was having his ship repaired after their long journey. Junho had recovered completely. The human's healing ability still amazed Dr. Hyojin. Wounds that should have taken months to heal were completely gone in just 2 weeks. Junho was stronger than ever and had become a popular member of the crew. "I should find a way home," Junho said as they sat in the station's cantina. "My people will be worried about me." Taemin nodded. "We can help you send a message. The station has long-range communication equipment." But before Junho could reply, alarms began ringing throughout the station. Emergency lights flashed red and a voice spoke over the communication system. "All ships prepare for unknown vessels approaching. Multiple contacts detected. Species unknown." Taemin and Junho rushed to the nearest viewing window. What they saw made Taemin's skin turn white with shock. Ships were coming out of hyperspace. Dozens of them. But these were not like any ships in the Galactic Council fleet. They were sleek and angular, colored in shades of silver and blue. Their design was both beautiful and threatening. The ships moved with perfect coordination, forming a protective circle around the station. They were clearly advanced, but they made no hostile moves. They simply waited. "Those are human ships," Junho said quietly. His voice was full of pride and relief. "Human ships?" Taemin stared at the fleet. "But you said your people were new to space travel." Junho looked uncomfortable. "I said we recently learned to travel between stars. I did not say how recently." Before Taemin could ask more questions, a message came through the station's communication system. The voice was clear and spoke perfect galactic standard. "This is Admiral Sujin of the Earth Defense Fleet. We are here on a diplomatic mission. We request permission to board Nexus Station to speak with station authorities and with Captain Taemin of the vessel Crimson Tide." Taemin felt his stomach drop. How did they know his name? The station commander, a nervous Zentari named Kek Lan, responded immediately. "Permission granted. Welcome to Nexus Station." An hour later, Taemin found himself in the station's main conference room. Junho sat beside him, no longer looking like a lost refugee. The human carried himself with confidence now, like someone who knew help had arrived. The station commander was there, along with several council representatives who happened to be at the station. They all looked worried and confused. Then the humans arrived. Admiral Sujin was a tall female human with black hair and sharp, intelligent eyes. She wore a dark blue uniform covered with symbols that meant nothing to Taemin, but seemed to command respect. Behind her came 6 other humans, all dressed in similar uniforms. "Thank you for agreeing to meet with us," Sujin said politely. "First, let me thank Captain Taemin personally for saving the life of our citizen Junho." Taemin's skin flushed purple with embarrassment. "I only did what was right," Sujin smiled. "Yes, you did. And that is exactly why we are here." She activated a holographic display that showed star maps Taemin had never seen before. The maps showed human territory, dozens of star systems with colonies, space stations, and defensive positions. "Ladies and gentlemen," Sujin began, "humanity has been aware of the Galactic Council for over 50 years. We have watched you from a distance, learning your languages and studying your cultures." Station Commander Keklan's scales turned bright, yellow with shock. 50 years, but our sensors would have detected you." "Your sensors detected what we wanted them to detect," Sujin replied calmly. "We learned early that the galaxy can be a dangerous place for newcomers, so we took our time and prepared carefully." She changed the display to show human technology, ships, weapons, and devices that looked far more advanced than anything the Council used. "We have spent decades developing our civilization without outside interference. We learned to work together, to share resources, and to protect each other. These values are the foundation of everything we build." Council Representative Mortek, a proud Draknari warrior, stood up angrily. His reptilian features were twisted with rage. "This is unacceptable. All new species must register with the Council. You cannot simply appear and claim territory." Sujin turned to look at him. Her expression did not change, but something in her eyes made the Draknari take a step back. "We are not claiming territory, Representative Mortek. We are announcing our presence and our intentions. As of today, Earth officially recognizes the Galactic Council and requests peaceful relations." "And what of your illegal expansion?" Mortek demanded. "You have built colonies without permission." "We have built colonies in empty systems that belong to no one," Sujin replied. "We have not taken anything from anyone, but we have prepared to defend what we have built." She turned back to Taemin. "Which brings me to why we are really here. Captain Taemin, by saving the life of Junho, you performed an act of alliance with humanity. According to Human Doctrine 1, any being who renders aid to humanity in distress automatically gains Earth's protection and technological partnership." Taemin stared at her. I do not understand. Sujin smiled warmly. It is simple, Captain. You helped one of us, so now we help all of you. The Vorthak people are now under Earth's protection. We offer you our friendship, our technology, and our support. You cannot do that, Mortek shouted. The Vorthak are a council member species. They are under council protection. Were they under council protection when pirates attacked Junho? Sujin asked quietly. The same pirates who have been raiding Vorthak trade routes for months while the council does nothing? The room fell silent. Everyone knew she was right. The council had been too slow to act against the pirate threat. Sujin continued. We do not seek to replace the council. We seek to offer an alternative. Any species that helps humanity will find humanity helping them in return. It is that simple. She activated another display showing Vorthak space. Red dots marked recent pirate attacks. Blue dots showed where human patrol ships were now positioned. As of this morning, human defense fleets are protecting all major Vorthak trade routes. The pirate attacks have stopped. Captain Tayman's cargo ship will never again fear attack while traveling through space. Tayman felt overwhelmed. He had saved one life, and now his entire species was under the protection of these powerful humans. What do you want in return? He asked. Nothing. Sujin replied. This is not a trade agreement. This is how humans do things. We help those who help us. We protect those who show kindness. We share our strength with those who share our values. Junho spoke for the first time since the meeting began. Captain, you risked your ship and crew to save a stranger. That is exactly the kind of person humans want as friends. Representative, Mortek was furious. This is a violation of galactic law. The Council will not stand for this interference. Sujin looked at him calmly. Representative, what law says that friends cannot help friends? What law says that grateful people cannot protect those who helped them? We are not conquering anyone. We are offering partnership to those who choose it. She stood up and looked around the room. Humanity has no desire for conflict. We simply want to live in peace and help our friends do the same. But we are prepared to defend ourselves and our allies against any threat. The holographic display changed one more time. It now showed the human fleet surrounding the station, but there were more ships than before. Many more ships. The display indicated that hundreds of human vessels were hidden throughout local space, all armed and ready. This meeting is over, Sujin announced. Captain Tayman, you and your crew are welcome to visit Earth whenever you wish. Dr. Hyojin, our medical experts would be honored to share knowledge with someone who saved a human life with such skill. As the humans prepared to leave, Sujin turned back to the council representatives. Gentlemen, humanity is now part of galactic civilization. We hope this can be the beginning of a long friendship, but understand this, we will not abandon those who have shown us kindness. The Vorthak are under our protection now. That protection is absolute. After the humans left, the room erupted in arguments. Some council representatives were angry about humanity's bold claims. Others were worried about their advanced technology. A few were quietly wondering if their own species might benefit from human friendship. Tayman sat in stunned silence. 2 weeks ago, he was a simple merchant captain. Now he was somehow at the center of galactic politics. All because he had chosen to save a stranger's life. What have I done, he whispered. Junho put a hand on his shoulder. You did the right thing, Captain, and now my people want to do the right thing for you. As news of the meeting spread throughout the galaxy, one thing became clear. Humanity had arrived, and they were unlike any species the Council had ever encountered. They offered friendship instead of demanding submission. They shared technology instead of hoarding it, and they protected their allies with a strength that made even the mighty Draknari nervous. The galaxy was about to change in ways no one could imagine, and it all started because one Vorthak captain decided to save a human life. 3 months had passed since humanity announced itself to the galaxy. The news had spread to every corner of Council space, causing excitement, fear, and confusion in equal measure. General Wook Jin of the Draknari Empire stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Iron Claw. His reptilian features were set in an angry expression as he studied the holographic display showing human territory. The Draknari were the strongest military force in the Galactic Council, and they did not like being challenged. "How many systems do they control now?" he asked his aide. 47 confirmed systems, General," the younger Draknari replied. "But our scouts report defensive stations in many more areas. They seem to be everywhere at once." Wookjin's claws scraped against the metal railing. The humans had not attacked anyone or taken any territory by force, but their influence was growing rapidly. Species across the galaxy were starting to question Council authority. "And the Vorthak situation?" he growled. "Their trade routes are completely secure now. Human patrol ships respond to any threat within minutes. Vorthak merchants are reporting record profits because they no longer lose ships to pirates." This was exactly what worried Wookjin. The Council had been trying to stop pirate attacks on Vorthak ships for over a year. They had failed. Humanity solved the problem in a few days. It made the Council look weak and ineffective. "General," his communications officer called out, "we are receiving a transmission from Council Central Command." The image of Council Chairman Veldtar appeared on the screen. The elderly Zentari looked tired and stressed. "General Wookjin," the chairman began, "the Council has voted. We cannot allow humanity to continue operating outside Council authority. They must submit to proper galactic law and surrender their advanced technology for inspection." Wookjin smiled, showing his sharp teeth. "And if they refuse? Then you have permission to use force. Start with their allies. Cut off Vorthak trade routes. Show the galaxy what happens when species choose human protection over Council authority." The transmission ended. Wookjin turned to his fleet commanders. "Prepare the second battle fleet. We move against Vorthak space in 6 hours." Meanwhile on Earth, Admiral Sujin sat in a meeting with the Human Defense Council. The room was deep underground, protected by layers of advanced shielding. Around the table sat the leaders of humanity's space forces. "They're going to test us," reported Intelligence Director Sumin. "Draknari battle groups are moving toward Vorthak space. 30 ships, including their newest heavy cruisers." "Expected," Sujin replied calmly. "How are our friends holding up?" "Captain Taimin is worried but determined," Sumin answered. "The Vorthak Council has voted to maintain their alliance with us despite Draknari threats. They trust us to protect them." Defense Minister Kyung-ho leaned forward. "Are we ready for this?" Sujin nodded. "We've been preparing for this moment since we first learned about the Council 50 years ago. Our ships are in position. Our weapons are tested. Our allies know what to expect." She activated a holographic display showing the planned battle zone. "The Draknari think they're fighting a new species that got lucky with some advanced technology. They have no idea what they're actually facing." Captain Tae-min was on his ship when the attack began. The Crimson Tide was carrying a load of medical supplies to a Vorthak colony when his sensors detected the approaching Draknari fleet. "Captain," Boram called out, her skin turning pale blue with fear. 30 Draknari warships are approaching. They're demanding we stop and submit to inspection." Taemin felt his hearts racing. Draknari warships were massive, heavily armed vessels, designed for conquest. His merchant ship had no weapons and no armor. If the Draknari wanted to destroy him, there was nothing he could do to stop them. "Send a distress signal to the human patrol frequency," he ordered. "Let them know what's happening." "Already done, Captain," Boram replied. "But the nearest human ship is 2 hours away." Through his viewing window, Taemin could see the Draknari fleet approaching. Their ships were dark and angular, designed to look frightening. They were succeeding. General Wookjin's voice came over the communication system. "Vorthak vessel, this is General Wookjin of the Draknari Empire. You are ordered to stop and prepare to be boarded. Your illegal alliance with the humans is ended." Taemin thought of Junho and the kindness the humans had shown him. He thought of his sister Hyejin, who was now learning amazing new medical techniques from human doctors. He thought of his crew, who no longer feared pirate attacks because of human protection. "General Wookjin," Taemin replied, his voice steady despite his fear. "I am a free citizen of the Vorthak Republic, traveling through free space. You have no authority over me. Wookjin laughed, a harsh sound that made Taemin's skin crawl. Your human friends cannot help you now, merchant. Prepare to learn what real power looks like. The Draknari ships powered up their weapons. Energy began building in their gun ports. In moments they would fire, and the Crimson Tide would be destroyed. Then space itself seemed to bend. Human ships appeared from nowhere. Not the sleek vessels that had been seen at Nexus Station, but something else entirely. These ships were larger, more advanced, and moved with a grace that seemed impossible for such massive objects. This is Captain Minjae of the human vessel Defiant, a calm voice announced. General Wookjin, you are threatening a citizen under Earth's protection. Stand down immediately. Wookjin stared at the human ships surrounding his fleet. Where had they come from? His sensors showed nothing. Then suddenly, there were 12 human vessels, each one larger than his flagship. I do not take orders from humans, Wookjin snarled. Attack! Destroy them all! The Draknari fleet opened fire. Massive energy beams lanced out toward the human ships. For a moment it looked like the humans would be overwhelmed. Then the human ships responded. What happened next was not a battle. It was a lesson. The human weapons did not destroy the Draknari ships. Instead, they disabled them with surgical precision. Energy beams cut through Draknari hulls like they were made of paper, but they carefully avoided hitting crew areas or life support systems. Draknari weapons simply stopped working. Their engines shut down. Their shields failed. One by one, 30 of the most powerful warships in the galaxy were reduced to floating metal shells, but their crews were unharmed. General Wookjin, Captain Minjae's voice came over the communication system. Your ships are disabled, but your people are safe. We could have destroyed you in the first 10 seconds of this engagement. Instead, we chose to show mercy. Wookjin stared at his useless control panels. His mighty fleet was helpless. Worse, the humans had made it look easy. Why, he asked quietly. Why did you not kill us? Because that is not who we are, Minjae replied. We do not fight to destroy. We fight to protect. You threatened our friends, so we stopped you. But we take no pleasure in killing. Another human ship appeared next to the Crimson Tide. It was smaller than the warships, but still impressive. Captain Taemin recognized it as a medical vessel. Captain Taemin, came a familiar voice. It was Junho. Are you and your crew unharmed? Taemin felt relief flood through him. We are fine, thanks to your people. No, Junho replied. Thanks to your kindness. If you had not saved my life, none of this would have been possible. Hours later, rescue ships arrived to help the disabled Draknari vessels. The human ships had already disappeared, vanishing as mysteriously as they had arrived. But they left behind a clear message. Admiral Sujin's image appeared on every communication screen in the battle zone. She looked directly at General Wookjin. General, today your fleet learned that human technology is more advanced than you imagined. But more importantly, you learned that we use our strength to protect, not to conquer. Your crews are alive because we chose mercy over revenge. She paused, letting her words sink in. The Vorthak people are under Earth's protection. Any attack on them is an attack on us. But we do not seek war with the Draknari Empire or the Galactic Council. We seek friendship with all who offer it. Her expression became serious. However, let this be clear to everyone watching. Humanity has spent 50 years preparing for this moment. We have technology you cannot imagine and weapons you cannot match. We have allies you do not know about and resources you cannot count. The image changed to show human fleets throughout the galaxy. Hundreds of ships, all previously hidden, all now revealed to make a point. We prefer peace, Sujin continued. We choose cooperation over conflict. We offer friendship to all who want it. But we will protect those who have earned our loyalty, no matter the cost. The transmission ended, leaving the galaxy to absorb what they had witnessed. General Wookjin sat in his disabled flagship, thinking about what he had seen. The humans had superior technology, but that was not what impressed him most. They had shown mercy when they could have shown cruelty. They had protected their friends when they could have abandoned them. For the first time in his military career, Wook-jin began to wonder if there might be a better way to use strength than simply taking what you wanted. On the Crimson Tide, Captain Taemin looked out at the stars and marveled at how much his life had changed. 3 months ago, he was a simple merchant. Now he was living proof that small acts of kindness could reshape the entire galaxy. What happens now? Boram asked. 6 months after the Draknari confrontation, the galaxy had become a very different place. In a small cafe on Nexus Station, Captain Taemin sat with his sister, Dr. Hai-jin, listening to her describe her experiences aboard a human medical ship. "You should see their techniques, brother," Hai-jin said, her skin bright green with excitement. "They can regrow entire organs using the patient's own cells. They have medicines that can cure diseases we thought were impossible to treat. And they share everything freely." Taemin smiled at his sister's enthusiasm. The Vorthak had indeed prospered under human protection. Their merchant fleet now used human navigation technology that made their ships the fastest in known space. Their colonies received human agricultural innovations that had tripled their food production. Most importantly, pirate attacks had completely stopped. "The humans keep their promises," Taemin agreed. "But I worry about the consequences." He gestured toward the viewing window. Outside, they could see ships from dozens of different species docked at the station. Many of them carried new markings, symbols that indicated alliance with humanity. "Look around, Hai-jin. Every day, more species announce partnerships with Earth. The galaxy is reshaping itself around human doctrine." Dr. Hai-jin's skin turned thoughtful purple. "Is that a bad thing? The humans have brought peace to regions that knew only conflict. They share technology instead of hoarding it. They protect the weak instead of exploiting them." Before Taemin could answer, the cafe's news screen activated. The image showed Engineer Minsu, a human who had become famous throughout the galaxy for his humanitarian missions. "Today marks the completion of the Kepler 442 relief operation," Minsu reported, from the bridge of his ship. "Thanks to the combined efforts of human and Zephyrian crews, we have successfully evacuated all civilians from the unstable solar system." The image shifted to show massive human transport ships working alongside smaller Zephyrian vessels. They were rescuing millions of people from planets threatened by their dying star. The evacuated populations will be relocated to new worlds prepared by the Human Zephyrian Alliance. Minsu continued. "No one will be left behind." Taemin noticed something interesting about the report. The rescue had been very convenient. For humanity. The Zephyrians, grateful for human help in saving their people, had just become Earth's newest allies. They brought with them advanced mining technology and access to rare mineral deposits. "Have you noticed," Taemin said quietly, "how often humans seem to be in exactly the right place when disasters happen?" Hee-jin looked at him curiously. "What do you mean?" "Think about it. Junho's ship just happened to be attacked near our trade route. The Kepler 442 evacuation required human transport ships that were already nearby. The Antarian plague outbreak was solved by human medical teams who arrived suspiciously quickly." His sister's skin turned pale blue with concern. "Are you saying the humans are causing these problems?" "No," Taemin replied. "But I think they might be better at predicting them than they let on. Or perhaps better at recognizing opportunities to help." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Intelligence Officer Su-min. The human woman slid into the seat. Across from them, her expression serious. "Captain Taemin, Dr. Hai-jin," she greeted them politely. "May I join you? I have something important to discuss." Taemin gestured to an empty chair. He had met Su-min several times and found her to be direct and honest, even when discussing uncomfortable truths. "What can we do for you?" he asked. Su-min activated a small holographic projector. It showed a map of the galaxy with different regions highlighted in various colors. "We have a problem," she began. "Several council species have formed what they call the Galactic Sovereignty Coalition. They're led by General Wook-jin and supported by the Draknari Empire, the Centauri Republic, and 12 other major powers." The map showed the coalition's territory in red. It was substantial, nearly a quarter of known space. What do they want? He-Jin asked. They claim humanity is destabilizing galactic civilization, Su-Min explained. They point out that our rapid expansion threatens the established order. They say we're using our rescue doctrine to manipulate other species into unwanted alliances. Taemin studied the map. Are they wrong? Su-Min looked at him with respect. That's exactly the question we're asking ourselves, Captain. Let me show you something. The holographic display changed to show incident reports from the past 6 months. Dozens of situations where human ships had appeared to help other species in distress. Statistical analysis shows that we've encountered species needing help at a rate far higher than random chance would suggest, Su-Min admitted. Either we're incredibly lucky, or we're very good at being in the right place at the right time. Which is it? Taemin asked directly. Su-Min was quiet for a moment. Both. We have advanced sensor networks throughout the galaxy. We monitor communication traffic, track ship movements, and analyze potential crisis situations. When we detect a species in trouble, we position rescue assets nearby. Hyejin's skin turned orange with surprise. You mean you're deliberately creating rescue opportunities? No, Su-Min replied firmly. We never cause the problems. But we do make sure we're ready to help when problems occur naturally. The galaxy is a dangerous place. Species get into trouble all the time. We just make sure we're there to help when they do. She changed the display again, showing detailed analysis of each rescue operation. Look at the results. The Zephyrians. We're going to lose millions of people to their dying star with or without our intervention. The Antarian plague would have killed billions if left untreated. The Kepler mining disaster would have destroyed an entire sector's economy. Taemin had to admit she was right. But you benefit from helping. Yes, Su-Min agreed. Every species we help becomes an ally. Every ally makes humanity stronger and safer. But does that make our help less valuable? Are the Zephyrian lives we saved worth less because we gained friends by saving them? It was a difficult question. The humans were clearly manipulating galactic politics, but they were doing it by solving real problems and saving real lives. What about the coalition? Hyejin asked. What are they planning? Su-Min's expression became grim. Intelligence suggests they're preparing for military action. General Wook-Jin has convinced them that humanity must be stopped before we gain too much influence. She showed them images of coalition fleets gathering at strategic points throughout their territory. They're planning to cut off our trade routes and isolate our allies. If that doesn't work, they'll move to direct military confrontation. Taemin felt worried. Can humanity handle a war against so many species? We can win, Su-Min replied, confidently. Our technology is superior and our ships are more advanced, but winning a war isn't the same as achieving our goals. We want friends, not subjects. We want cooperation, not conquest. She turned off the holographic display and looked directly at both Vorthak. That's why I'm here. We need our allies to understand what's really happening. The coalition will try to convince the galaxy that humanity is a threat to galactic freedom. They'll say we're using our rescue doctrine to build an empire. Aren't you? Taemin asked quietly. Su-Min smiled. If we are building an empire, it's a very strange one. Our subjects are free to leave whenever they want. We don't demand tribute or territory. We don't impose our laws or our culture. We simply offer friendship and protection to those who want it. She stood up to leave, then paused. Captain Taemin, 6 months ago you made a choice to save a stranger's life. That choice started everything that's happened since. The question now is, do you regret that choice? Taemin thought about everything that had changed. His people were safer and more prosperous than ever before. They had access to technologies that were improving millions of lives. They had friends among the stars who would protect them from any threat. But they had also become part of something larger than themselves. The simple act of saving one human life had connected the Vorthak to galactic politics in ways they never expected. No, he said finally. I don't regret saving Junho, but I worry about what comes next. Su-Min nodded. So do we, Captain. So do we. After she left, Taemin and Hyejin sat in silence for a while, watching the ships come and go outside the station. "Brother," Hyejin said eventually, "do you think the humans are good for the galaxy?" Taemin considered the question carefully. "I think they're better than what came before. The Council ruled through fear and bureaucracy. The Dreknari expand through conquest. The humans offer a third option, friendship backed by strength. But they're still manipulating us. They're still changing the galaxy to suit their purposes. The difference is that their purposes seem to align with our well-being." Hyejin's skin turned thoughtful purple again. "Perhaps that's the best we can hope for. Leaders whose self-interest requires them to help others." Unknown to them, similar conversations were happening throughout the galaxy. Species that had been helped by humans wondered about humanity's true motives. Coalition species prepared for what they saw as an inevitable conflict. And in the space between the stars, fleets from dozens of different worlds moved toward positions that would determine the future of galactic civilization. The rescue doctrine had worked exactly as humanity intended. They had gained allies. The final confrontation came in the Centauri neutral zone, a region of space that belonged to no single government. It was here that Admiral Su-Jin chose to make humanity's stand against the Galactic Sovereignty Coalition. Captain Taemin stood on the bridge of his new ship, the Friendship's Light. No longer a simple merchant vessel, it was now a command ship equipped with human technology and crewed by both Vorthak and human officers. As one of humanity's first allies, Taemin had been given the honor of leading the Allied fleet's reconnaissance division. "Admiral," his communications officer reported, "we're receiving long-range sensor data from our scouts. The Coalition fleet is massive, over 300 ships from 15 different species." Through the main viewing screen, Taemin could see the approaching enemy fleet. Dreknari heavy cruisers flew alongside Centauri battleships and Rigelian destroyers. It was the largest military force assembled in galactic history. "Any word from Admiral Su-Jin?" Taemin asked. "She's maintaining communication silence," the officer replied. "But human fleet elements are moving into position throughout the system." Taemin nodded. The humans had spent the last month preparing for this moment. Their strategy was unlike anything the galaxy had seen before. Instead of massing their ships for a traditional battle, they had scattered smaller groups throughout the neutral zone. General Wookjin's voice boomed across all communication frequencies. "Attention, human forces. You are outnumbered 5-1. Surrender now and submit to Council authority, or face complete destruction." The response came not from Admiral Su-Jin, but from someone unexpected. Junho's voice, calm and measured, filled the communication channel. "General Wookjin, this is Ambassador Junho of Earth. Before this confrontation begins, there are things you need to know about humanity. Things that will change how you see this conflict." On the Coalition flagship, General Wookjin's scales rippled with confusion. "Ambassador? You were a researcher on a small science ship." "Yes," Junho replied. "I was researching you. All of you. For the past 3 centuries. The communication channel filled with confused voices from Coalition ships. 3 centuries? That was impossible. Humanity had only recently achieved spaceflight. Admiral Su-Jin's image appeared on every screen in the battle zone. Her expression was serious but not hostile. "General Wookjin, representatives of the Coalition, it's time you learned the truth about humanity's place in the galaxy." The space around them began to change. What had appeared to be empty void was suddenly filled with ships, hundreds of human vessels decloaked, revealing that they had been hidden throughout the system. But these weren't the sleek warships the galaxy had seen before. These were massive construction ships, research vessels, and colony transports. Ships that had clearly been in space for decades, not years. "Humanity has been spacefaring for over 300 years, Su-Jin announced. "We achieved faster-than-light travel in the year 2157 of our calendar. We have been exploring the galaxy, building colonies, and studying other species since before. Most of your governments existed." General Wookjin stared at the display in disbelief. "Impossible. Our sensors would have detected you." Your sensors detected exactly what we wanted them to detect, Sujin replied. We learned early that the galaxy could be a dangerous place for newcomers. So we watched. We learned. We prepared. The holographic display changed to show humanity's real territory. Not the 47 systems they had publicly claimed, but over 200 systems spread throughout the galaxy. Hidden colonies, research stations, and defense platforms that had been operating in secret for centuries. Why? Asked Representative Veltar of the Centauri Republic. Why hide for so long? Junho answered. Because we saw what happened to other species who revealed themselves too early. The Galactic Council's idea of first contact involves forced integration, technological dependency, and cultural erasure. We watched the Altarians lose their independence within 50 years of joining the Council. We saw the Procyon become economic slaves to more advanced species. The communication channel fell silent as the implications sank in. We studied your civilizations for 3 centuries, Sujin continued. We learned your languages, understood your cultures, and analyzed your methods of governance. And we concluded that the galaxy was not ready for true cooperation. Too many species ruled through fear, conquered through force, and maintained power through oppression. Admiral Sujin's image was replaced by historical footage, scenes of human ships observing galactic conflicts from a distance, human scientists studying alien technologies, human diplomats learning about different cultures. So we waited, she said. We developed our own technology without outside influence. We built a civilization based on cooperation rather than domination. We created the tools necessary to defend ourselves and our values. And we planned for the day when we would reveal ourselves. What changed? General Wookjin asked quietly. The image shifted to show Captain Tayman's rescue of Junho 6 months earlier. Captain Tayman changed everything, Sujin replied. His simple act of kindness proved that the galaxy was finally ready for a better way. Here was someone who risked his own safety to save a stranger, who asked for nothing in return, who showed the kind of compassion that makes true civilization possible. Tayman felt his skin flush with embarrassment. His small act had started all of this. Junho's mission was our final test, Sujin explained. Not a research mission, but a test of galactic readiness. Would aliens save a human in distress, or would they prioritize their own safety? Captain Tayman's choice gave us hope that the galaxy was ready for humanity's true emergence. Junho's voice returned to the communication channel. The rescue doctrine isn't a manipulation technique. It's the foundation of human civilization. Our entire society is built around the principle that helping others creates genuine allies, not subjects. You've been manipulating us all along, accused General Wookjin. No, Sujin replied firmly. We've been preparing to help you. Every crisis we've responded to was real. Every life we've saved mattered. Every technology we've shared was given freely. The only manipulation was hiding our true history until the galaxy was ready to accept us as equals. The display changed once more, showing the current state of the galaxy. Red areas marked regions controlled by the coalition, where species ruled through military might and economic dominance. Blue areas showed human-allied space, where cooperation and mutual aid were the norm. Look at the results, Sujin said. In coalition space, you see constant conflict, economic inequality, and technological stagnation. In allied space, you see peace, prosperity, and innovation. The difference isn't our technology, it's our philosophy. For the first time since the confrontation began, General Wookjin seemed uncertain. His military training told him to attack, but the evidence before him suggested that everything he believed about power and governance might be wrong. What do you want from us? He asked. We want you to choose, Sujin replied. Choose between a galaxy ruled by fear and one built on friendship. Choose between conquest and cooperation. Choose between the old ways and something better. Before anyone could respond, alarms began sounding throughout the coalition fleet. New contacts were appearing on their sensors. Not human ships, but vessels from dozens of different species. Vorthak merchants, Zephyrian mining ships, Antarian medical vessels, and ships from 50 other allied species emerged from hyperspace. They took positions alongside the human fleet, creating a defensive formation that dwarfed the coalition forces. "This is Admiral Taemin of the Allied fleet," came a familiar voice. Captain Taemin's old friend Boram, now commanding her own ship, had been promoted after proving her skills with human technology. "We stand with humanity not because we have to, but because we choose to," she announced. "Because they have shown us that strength can be used to protect rather than conquer, that technology can be shared rather than hoarded, that the galaxy is better when its inhabitants help each other." General Wook Jin looked at the combined fleet surrounding his forces. They were outnumbered now, but that wasn't what concerned him. What concerned him was the realization that he was facing an alliance built on genuine loyalty rather than forced obedience. "General," his aide whispered, "we should retreat. We cannot win against these numbers." But Wook Jin was thinking about something else. He was thinking about the disabled Dreknari ships from months ago, and how the humans could have destroyed them but chose mercy instead. He was thinking about the human medical teams that had secretly helped Dreknari colonies during the recent plague outbreak. He was thinking about the choice Sujin was offering him now. "Admiral Sujin," he said slowly, "if we stand down, what happens to the coalition?" "The same thing that happens to everyone else," she replied. "You get to choose your own path. If you want to maintain your current system of government, you may do so. If you want to join the Allied network, you're welcome. If you want something in between, we can work together to find it. And if we choose to remain enemies," Sujin's expression became sad, "then we will defend ourselves and our allies. But we will not conquer you. We will not force you to change. We will simply prove, through our actions, that there is a better way."